What's poppin', people? It's Dante, just going for a walk here in Fairmount Park, Philadelphia. Welcome to the woods. And so today I'm thinking about goals, and in terms of art or photography or pretty much anything that you're doing, I think it's important to think out loud about what is the goal. Why are you doing the thing that it is that you are doing? And so recently I've read the book by Aristotle, the Nicomachean Ethics. And in this book, he discusses this notion of eudaimonia, of essentially flourishing. And to flourish, one must cultivate virtue, strength, courage. One must be physically capable as much as they are mentally strong. I think that the idea of eudaimonia is essentially, in the ancient Greek tradition, becoming the best version of yourself, simply put. And so we can seek this within ourselves and within a community. And within the book, he discusses the notion of telos, of goal setting, of what is the goal. And this notion I thought of over the years recently is the goal is within itself. The goal and the meaning is found within the process. It's within the click of the shutter. And so as a photographer, meaning is found through me taking the camera out of my pocket, putting it in my hand, and pressing the shutter. The goal is found within itself. The meaning is found within itself. And so the notion of autotelic is a very interesting notion where autos meaning self, telos meaning goal. The goal is within itself. And if you find meaning in the process, if you find joy in doing something, despite what the outcome may bring, this to me is a peak experience of human flourishing. And to me, this is what it feels like to reach eudaimonia. For when you are unburdened by societal expectations, especially in the modern world with social media validation, when you create in a very pure state, in an autotelic way, where you embrace play, you embrace imperfection, and you do things out of your own inner curiosity, discovering who you are through your inner child, this to me is what it means to thrive. As an artist, I think it's important to detach yourself from the noise, the distractions, to find the meaning within the process itself, to stop thinking about a book, a zine, a gallery, or even having likes or followers on social media, and start cultivating meaning and cultivating joy within the thing that you are doing for the sake of doing it. And so I simply love life. I love photography. And so for me to essentially go out there and fall in love with life each day is my aim and is my goal. And so by photographing, I'm fulfilling the goal within itself. For me, I follow my joy. I follow that inner spiritedness within me that has me coming out here to practice my photography, wherever I may be, no matter how mundane things may seem. And I think that's the beauty of approaching life and whatever it is that you're doing with this autotelic state of mind, where you find the goal within itself and you flow with life despite the friction or the comfort. I think that when you find that the present moment in what you are doing is the goal, where the gift of life is the present, and that present moment of whatever it is that you're doing and doing it fully, intensely, and intentionally, meaning is found, joy is found, love is found, flourishing is found, where I seek to thrive as an artist. And I think when you attach yourself to an outcome, when you attach yourself to a goal, when you're thinking of any end product in mind or doing things because you think other people will enjoy the thing that you're doing, well, this is where you will die. But when I'm outside and I'm photographing and I'm doing things and I'm following my curiosity and I'm listening to my gut and I'm obeying that, to me, this is where I thrive. I don't thrive in the validation. I don't thrive in the sort of approval of others, but I thrive in knowing that I'm bringing meaning to my mundane everyday life through the act of creation, through the click of the shutter, and simply treating that click of the shutter as life affirmation, as gratitude for the day, and to treat photography and everything that I do in the day as play, where in the modern world we seek to be productive, we seek to work and toil, and this is virtuous in this world of ours. But I say nay, I say play more, I say go out there and express yourself freely and openly. I think that when it comes to setting goals and having goals, it is important to have aim. It is important to strive to overcome yourself and to become the best version of yourself. But I think that when you find the goal within the thing that you're doing itself, this to me is where eudaimonia is truly reached. And so I find flourishing is very simple. It's doing things for the sake of doing things. It's doing only the things that you love to do in life, and stop forcing yourself to play a game that you weren't designed to play. You know, when we get older, we sort of involuntarily play. We don't voluntarily go out onto the playground anymore. And so I think that it's important to tap into that inner child. And through creation and making things with this sort of goal of finding joy within the thing that it is what you are doing, your most authentic expression will outwardly present itself from your internal state. And so I seek, because of that, to create from this autotelic state, to detach myself from the outcome of what it is that I make. You know, whether or not I come home with a good or bad photo today, this isn't of my concern. My concern is increasing my curiosity. My concern is falling in love with life. My concern is increasing my vitality so that I have pep in my step and the ability to create, so that I can fulfill the goal within itself. By doing the thing itself, by finding meaning in the process, by thriving in the unknown, in the mundane existence of life. You know, to me, the autotelic approach is all about fulfilling yourself and not seeking to please others. And so what if I said that you were to photograph for the rest of your life, but you'd never see the photographs? They'd never see the light of day, that they'd never see or receive any praise. Would you continue to photograph? You know, I think this is an important question to raise. And so, while I understand when we photograph that it's nice to, you know, sort of have somebody else look at it and say, yes, good job, I think the beauty of photography and the beauty of doing things for the sake of doing things is that it gives your life meaning. And yes, we can share this with others. We can share our joy and our love for what we do with others. But deep down, we all know that we treat photography as a selfish act. I do, at least. I'm not afraid to admit that. And so I seek to increase my curiosity. I seek to increase my courage. I seek to increase my love for life and fall in love with life each day, so that I go out there each and every day in the spirit of play, photographing from an autotelic state, to fulfill the goal within itself by making more pictures. And the more that I walk, the more that I see. And the more that I see, the more that I photograph. And the more that I photograph, the more curious I become, fulfilling that goal within itself of increasing my curiosity. And so, with that being said, ask yourself why you do something and what the goal is. And I think when you find yourself contemplating this question more critically, you might just come to the conclusion, like me, that you simply love doing things for the sake of doing things.